We respectfully acknowledge that Wood Buffalo Regional Library is situated on Treaty 8 territory, the traditional lands of the Cree and Dene First Nations and Métis Nation. With a library card, you will have access to many of the Wood Buffalo Regional Library's free databases, including TumbleBooks. TumbleBooks is a curated database of children's literacy resources, including animated talking picture books, fiction, nonfiction, world language titles, and read-along chapter books, as well as literacy puzzles and games. There is no limit to how many items can be borrowed, and users do not have to wait for titles to be returned from other patrons to borrow them. So all of the items are accessible whenever you need them. To access our online resources, visit our website at wbrl.ca. Many of our online resources are now single sign-on, which means once you've logged into the site, you will have immediate access to most of our resources. You can log in by clicking on the Login My WBRL button in the top right corner, then select the first option on the drop-down menu, Login Register. You'll be redirected to the login screen where you will have to enter your username or barcode and PIN. Your barcode is the long number on the back of your card that starts with 2555. Omit any spaces when entering your barcode. Your PIN was selected when you were signed up for a library card. If you've forgotten it, please contact the library and we will reset it for you. Now that you are logged in, select the Online Resources button and choose Online Resources A to Z from the drop-down menu. On the A to Z Resources page, you'll see the alphabet, which you can use to jump to the section you need. We are going to jump to letter T for TumbleBooks. To open the resource, click on the title, TumbleBooks. The database will open on the TumbleBooks homepage. You can scroll down to see numerous themed lists. Clicking on the title of any of these lists will take you to a new screen where you can access the item's information, but we will look at those later. Right now, we will explore the top of the home screen. In the far right corner, you could change the TumbleBooks interface from English to French or Spanish. Beneath the language option is the Tumble search function. Clicking this will redirect you to a new screen where there are 8 different search options. The search by title, author, subject, language, and genre options are self-explanatory, so we will skip those. The Tumble Time search option allows the user to search by the length it takes for TumbleBooks to read through the item. The search by Lexile and accelerated reader option allows the user to choose their Lexile or AR level, so only items within it are shown. The blue menu bar at the top of the screen has some important options. Clicking the Home option will always bring you back to this home screen. The Index option shows you a complete alphabetical list of all the items in TumbleBooks with the author, the item type, and the accelerated reader number. Clicking on the title of the item will bring you to its information page. The third option on the blue bar is Favorites, and this is where you will find any items that you've chosen to add to your favorites list. The Playlist option is similar. It holds any videos or storybooks that you've chosen to add to your playlists. Please note that not all storybooks or videos include the option to add it to a playlist. If you need tips on how to use TumbleBooks for your school or classroom, the How to Tumble tab gives great tips and instructions, including how-to videos, on how to better use this resource. The Contact Us tab has mail, phone, and email contact information for TumbleBooks. Lastly, the Newsletter tab is updated monthly to provide users with relevant information and items to reflect monthly events and dates of interest. Moving down to the rainbow tab bar, the first option is Storybooks. Clicking on this will take you to a screen with scrolling lists separated by theme or topic. Storybooks are animated, talking versions of the item. To see all storybook titles, click on the View All Titles button and sort them to your needs. Clicking on a title brings you to its informational page. Here you can see an item's summary, author, illustrator, reading level, and accelerated reading level if available. You can click on the star under the cover image to add this item to your favorites. To read the item, click on the Read Online button under the cover image. This will launch the Storybook Reader in a new window. Press play to start watching the story. The play menu only shows up when you hover your mouse over the video. The three options on the bottom of the screen allow you to rewind, pause and play, and fast forward. On the top of the vertical menu on the left side of the screen is an option to close the storybook player. Under that is an auto button. This will remove the pause play button on the menu at the bottom of the screen and force the video to play without stopping. The manual button underneath auto brings back the pause play button for manual viewing. The volume button can be used to mute and unmute the volume. The help button toggles on a text box which can help the user navigate the storybook reader. The Read Along tab on the rainbow bar takes you to a screen where you will see scrolling themed lists with read along titles. Like the Storybooks tab, you can see a full list of books by clicking on the View All Titles button. Read-alongs are titles that are for readers who are a little more advanced and are learning to read on their own. Clicking on one of these titles will bring you to the item's informational page, which is nearly identical to the informational page of a storybook item. You can still see all the information about an item, add it to your favorites, and launch the reader view of the item. The reader view for the read-alongs are a bit different. There is only one menu that is located on the bottom of the screen. The read-along items have highlighted sections of the book that follow the audio narration to help users read along in an easy way. The first option on the menu is the play pause button, and it will stop and start the narration of the item. The green arrows flip forward or back a page. If you'd like to move to a different chapter, click on the Chapter View button and select which chapter you'd like to navigate to. The bookmark option allows the user to set a bookmark. If you navigate to another part of the book and want to return to your bookmark, click the bookmark option again and then click Go to Bookmark. The text option pulls up a menu where you can change the font size, spacing, and font type. The color option pulls up a menu where you can change the color of the background and the font. The My Notes button allows you to create a notepad per chapter to save any information that you may need. Lastly, the Help button opens a window that gives you information on how to navigate the read-along item reader. To exit this reader, click the X button at the top of the window. The eBooks tab on the rainbow bar takes you to a screen with the same scrolling lists and View All Titles options on the Storybooks and Read-Along tabs. The informational view of the item is identical to the read-along one. There is the same information headings, Favorites button, and Read Online button. The only difference is shown when you open the reader. There is no option with ebooks to have the text read to you, so you do not see a play pause button. Otherwise, it is completely the same. When clicking on the Graphic Novels tab on the rainbow bar, you will see the same menu of scrolling themed lists with an option to view the full list of titles. The informational view of the item is also identical to the read-along and ebooks version. Again, the big difference is shown when you launch the reader view. You will use the scrolling bar to navigate pages, but if you'd like to jump to a different part of the item, you can use the chapter menu button on the top left side of the page. There is no option with graphic novels to change the font, add bookmarks, or notes. The NonFiction option on the Rainbow tab opens to the same familiar scrolling list screen with the View All Titles option. The items in this section are a mix of storybooks, read-alongs, and ebooks. You'll be able to tell which version it is with the options on the item's information screen. You can add some of these items to a playlist if the Add to Playlist button is in the informational view. If there are two play video buttons, the first one is for the storybook, and the second redirects the user to a similar item from the video section. The video section of the Rainbow tab opens to a page of scrolling lists that houses videos. The same option to view all titles is in the upper right corner. The informational screen for videos looks the same as a storybook. It may just have the option to add the video to a playlist. After you press Play Video, a new window will open with a video player. On the bottom of the video player, there's options to press Play Pause, adjust the volume, and to make the video full screen. If you click the Language Learning option on the rainbow bar, you will be redirected to a screen where you will see scrolling lists with a selection of French or Spanish books to view. Like the nonfiction section, these items could be ebooks, storybooks, or read-alongs. The Playlist tab on the rainbow bar redirects users to ready-to-go playlists that are separated by theme or length of the playlist. Click on a book cover to see the information about the playlist, including the length in minutes. When you click the Read Online button, the playlist reader will open in another window, and the first book will begin playing. To pause play the item, click on the top button on the left side of the screen. Beneath that is a rewind button that moves the book back a page. To go forward a page, click on the fast forward button on the right side of the screen. At the bottom of the playlist reader are 3 buttons. The left and middle button allow you to go to the next or previous books. The button on the right deletes the book from the playlist, so when you open the playlist again, it will not be included. The last option on the rainbow bar takes users to the Puzzles and Games section. The games are broken into different scrolling menus based on themes. The memory games have users match symbols from the book to win. The sentence game has the user match the illustration from the item with the corresponding sentence. The Spanish games have moving image puzzles, where users scramble the image and put it together again. Thank you for joining us for this deep dive into TumbleBooks. If you have any troubles with the database, please reach out to us for assistance.